Fire in the hole. Welcome to Fro-Dog Arcade Repair. Today we are going to light bulb test a Neotec 2515C. That's an NT, Nancy Thomas, 2515C. Now, I did some basic inspections on this as part of a repair video. So I've already checked fuse and some basic components through, repaired a cap that was busted off the board, did some basic checks that like the HOT. The HOT is out of circuit. It did test good, so I think we're good there, but for our purposes on this video, we are just light bulb testing. With the HOT out of circuit, we're not going to have any high voltage, so we don't have to worry about our high voltage anode. We're just going to see the power supply section light up. Now, this particular unit is a switch mode power supply, so it does not require an isolation transformer. However, all power on my bench does run through an isolation transformer, so we do have that. So I have power hooked up. I have our neck board dangling out of the way as well as our remote board, so we have nothing touching or shorted, nothing under the board. I've got our meter set up for DC volts. Got our trusty 60-watt light bulb, incandescent. You want an incandescent 60-watt, not a LED. And I've got our light bulb to our meter leads and our meter leads out to our test points. Now we're taking chassis ground for our ground, and we are on the end of our 117 here coming out of the power supply. It is the resistor that's kind of nestled back in between the two caps. It says DC by it. This is where we would also do our adjustment for B+. Now R119 also points DC on both sides of its legs. I prefer here is our test point, and that is the designated B+ adjustment test point. Now, fuse is good. Things generally check out on the board. Nothing looks burnt. Nothing looks crispy. I expect our power supply to work, but I don't know. So, fire in the hole. Okay, we got our chirp up. We got light bulb, and we're sitting at 121.4 volts. I believe our power supply is working, and our light bulb test is successful. Let's just look at our B+ pot here and see if it adjusts anything. Oh yeah, we should be about 120 volts. That's not the best adjustment on just a light bulb. It does need to be on a tube and you know, operating to get your true B+ adjustment done. But our power supply works, folks, and that is how you light bulb test the power supply section on a Neotec NT-2515C. Now we're going to do what I like to call stage 2 light bulb testing. That's where we did it with just the power supply in circuit to see that our power supply section was functioning. Now, with our light bulb hooked up as our analog for a CRT, it is again a 60-watt incandescent. Don't recommend the LEDs for these. We have our HOT back in circuit, secured to our heat sink, insulated, even though that is a full plastic case. It does have an insulator back there to transfer the heat. Now, I have our trusty glass mug that I got a high voltage warning sticker on. I need that just to keep me from drinking out of it, I suppose. Not really. But anyhow, we'll get our high voltage anode down in the glass insulated cup, and we're going to fire it up this time. We should get some weak high voltage since we don't have a yoke and don't have that full horizontal deflection happening. But it should tell us that our horizontal output and our flyback is at least spitting something out. I've already done a visual inspection looking for any kind of cracks, arcing, that kind of stuff on the flyback. So I don't think we have those issues. So, no time like the present. Fire in the hole. Power supply is up. We're at about 120. and you can hear ever so slightly a little tick, a little snap inside of our glass here for our high voltage anode. So this chassis is testing out high voltage and power supply. So I believe we have, for the most part, a functioning chassis. We could still have video problems, vertical deflection issues, who knows. But the light bulb test, stage 1 will tell us our power supply. Stage 2, on this chassis, it's acceptable to do the stage 2 test and see if we've got high voltage. So there we have it. Neotec NT-2515C. Thank you for joining me at Fro-Dog Arcade Repair. I hope you enjoyed the video, found it useful, or at least entertaining. Please subscribe below, like, follow, and share with your friends. And remember, fire in the hole.